Today in pop culture conversations, I want to debunk the bullshit of Christopher Nolan. Even when he's critiqued, like when he's being critiqued for his treatment of women in his many movies, including the latest Odyssey, some people still have caveats like, oh, but he was a genius director. No, he wasn't. Even his so-called genius movies, uh, they sound ingenious to Westerners because they've never heard of it. They're so naive and ignorant. In reality, he's a thief. Even his so-called ingenious, brilliant movies like Inception, Interstellar, even those movies are just theft. They're appropriation and epitomize of my culture. That's what a lot of the concepts are based on, our concepts. Okay? Then there's the fact that he's actually a bigot, pretending to be caring about black people, caring about diversity, like when he casted 2 black women for Odyssey. Meanwhile, he ignored the request of actual colonized indigenous Africans in Western Sahara, which is colonized land, currently colonized and occupied by Morocco, and the indigenous people of that land have been exiled to Algeria. And so they told him not to shoot his movie Odyssey in Western Sahara, and he did it anyways. And they're so mad because even they can't go back to their own land, and somehow this white director, this rich white man, was not only able to go but shoot a movie there. So they're calling for a boycott of it. Okay? So there's that. And what else did I want to say? Oh, and then, of course, his movie, The Dark Knight, which 1 in 4 Americans have seen or have watched, is bigoted against my people. And I have made a reel about this, right? Where if you scroll back a few months back, you will see a reel where there's a whole scene with Alfred, where Alfred tries to explain to Batman, or really Bruce Wayne, that the Joker is not an ordinary criminal, that he's not there to make money. And he gives this analogy with this bandit. The story of a bandit in British occupied Burma, where my country is, and yeah. And there's this bandit who keeps robbing the trains and stealing the rubies and jewelry, and then they never caught him, and they thought, yeah, you remember the scene probably because I posted it. Most people don't remember it because it's such a small part of the movie, which is the point. It's actually worse that it's a small part of the movie because that's how mind control works. That's Inception, where you hide a very important message that you want and bury it into the middle of the story, and it's a story inside a story, so it goes even deeper into the subconscious mind because you're distracted by all the exciting things happening in the main story. So, in this story, they never caught the bandit. They thought they would catch him when he sells the rubies. He never sold them. In fact, one day they find children playing with a huge ruby on the street or in their backyard. And then Alfred concludes that this man was stealing and robbing not to make money, but because he just wanted to watch the world burn. And he used that as an analogy for the Joker, to equate the Joker with a character from my country. That's fucking racist and bigoted. That's what that is. And then going back to the Odyssey, The fact that he ignored the requests of actual colonized Africans shows that he doesn't give a shit about actual Africans. He only got 2 black women. He only casted those women because he wanted to trigger and troll the MAGA racists, because he knew that they would create free publicity for him, because they would be ranting and raving on the internet about it, which in turn would make the Western left and the liberals and the left in general also create free publicity for the movie, because they'll be responding to all of the ranting and raving by the racists. It's a calculated move. In other words, he used the women as a strategy to promote his movie. That's what it's actually about. This is why I always say that diversity often is not the solution, but in fact often is part of the problem. And of course, these women look at the movies they star in. They star in imperialist movies, meaning they're imperialist assets and agents themselves. That's the only reason why they got to where they are now. Because the system would never allow actual anti-imperialists to get to these very high levels. One of them is married to, I know, Zendaya is married to Tom Holland, and they met on the set of Spider-Man. So that's all I wanted to say today. I do want to end this live for now, because I want to take a walk, but I'll be back. I wanted this clip on its own, but I'll be right back. So, all right.